guys, Evil E here, and today on Pop Craze we have a new guest, Maggie.
Hey.
Everyone say hello to Maggie.
Hey everybody.
Hello. Alright, so first order of business, let's go over our pickups. Maggie, you go first.
Okay.
You're the guest.
Cool. So my first pickup is, dun 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 dun.
Ooh.
Mike TV.
I like it. I like the little Mike TV.
Yeah, that sold me right there.
Okay, cool. When'd you get this?
So I got this about 2 weeks ago. I just started collecting Pops and I'm kind of behind. So I know he was released, I want to say in 2016. I can look real quick on my Stashpedia.
Good app.
Let's see. 2016. So I found him in a comic book store in the vaulted section, and it was the last one.
Ooh, that always makes it good.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, alright, let me go next. Okay, so this was my pickup from the other day, and this probably was, the reason I picked this one up was because I had never seen out in the wild a really cool looking figure of this particular character until I saw this one, and I was like, oh wow, his colors look good, everything looks good. So I just decided to pick him up at a Barnes & Noble for $9.95, and that is Earth 1 Batman.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so let's see, let me put him up here. So like I said, the main reason I picked him up was just because I had never seen a Batman that wasn't like one of the imposter ones where it's like Penguin in a Batman suit or Harley Quinn in a Batman suit, and just these random ones that are out there that are just scattered everywhere that you look. And I just really liked his colors. Like his gray looks really good. His teal of like his cowl and his cape and his gloves looks really good. Let me turn my camera towards you so you can see him.
Yeah, what color is he?
So he is gray, and then I don't know if you can see that. He is gray, like his suit that he's wearing on his body, and then his boots, his gloves, and his cowl and cape are like a teal color. They're like a bluish gray. And I've always liked the blue-gray Batmans. I always thought they were just really neat. Like, he just wears blue and gray. He's not sticking to the shadows, really, in those colors, so...
Yeah, he looks awesome.
Yeah, I thought he was a little neat one. I mean, he's not really going for much of anything, but I saw him and I was like, all right, I gotta have him, so I picked him up.
On the back of the box, who else is in that series?
Oh, okay. So let me show the back. So on this back, we've got White Lantern Batman. We have Golden Age Batman. We've got Super Friends Batman from the cartoon. Down here is Earth 1 Batman. This is Darkest Night Batman. He's almost like a zombie. That one's pretty cool. And then this one over here is just Batman. It looks a lot like the 1989 Tim Burton Batman. It's just black. It's got the gold bat on him and the gold utility belt. But another thing that I liked about this particular series of Batman is I really like their stances. Like, they're not the normal Funko Pop stances. They've got kind of a little bit of a dynamic pose to them.
Yeah, I see that.
So my official third pop, Batman. All right, now your turn. Go for your next one.
Oh, okay, cool. So my next pickup is Thor.
Ooh. Tell me about that one.
Okay, so can you see that well? Yeah?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. So Thor, he was found in a thrift store, oddly enough. Yeah, so you usually don't find them there, but he actually went for, how much? $6, yeah. So I got him for $6. I thought that was a huge steal. And he's currently on Stashpedia going for $90 because,
Woo!
yeah, there's a lot of Thors on Stash PD, or they've made a lot of Thor pops, but he is awesome because of the helmet. And I don't...
Oh, because all the other Thors, none of them have the helmet on, like the classic looking helmet that he's known for.
Right, right.
Oh, that's really cool.
And I don't know if you want to see the back of it for the...
Yeah, let me check it out.
Yeah, there we go. So we've got Thor, Loki, the Dark Elf, and the Thor with the helmet.
Okay, so this is from the second movie, The Dark World.
Yes.
Did you ever see that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was probably my favorite Thor movie out of the two that I've seen, so...
Yeah, I still got to see Ragnarok.
Yeah, haven't seen that one. A lot of people said it was funny. But, anyway, let's move on. $6 for a $90 pop? That's pretty awesome. How's the box condition? I mean, it doesn't look bad from here.
The box condition is actually pretty good. Maybe like a few creases. See at the top.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's in great condition. The plastic on the inside's in good condition. And, I mean, honestly, it was a steal.
All right, well, I don't have anything that can beat that, but... let me go into my second pickup now. So this one is actually technically a pickup for you because I was walking around at GameStop and I couldn't really find anything that I was really interested in. I found like an NES 8-bit Freddy Krueger and I was kind of like, maybe. I found an Energy Sword Master Chief from Halo and I was kind of like, maybe. But then I stumbled across this one and I remember the other half of the channel saying that he wanted it because it was a bright colored pop. It had a lot of nice colors to it. And it also came with one of those mini characters like your Mike TV did. So, we talked about it a little bit and he was like, you know what, pick it up for Maggie. And I was like, all right, because, I technically could have passed up on it. But then whenever I took it up to the counter and the guy was like, oh yeah, these just came in. And I looked them up and they were selling for like $30, like a pop on eBay. Like for every one, every other one was selling for like $30. So anyway, let me just get into it. It is Rainbow Bright with Twink.
Yeah, she's awesome.
I know. Her colors are really good. Twink looks really good. This was actually probably the best box I could find for her. There were only 2 at GameStop. So the other one at GameStop up here at the very top, it was like a little crunched in. And I was kind of like, ooh. So I kept looking around, and I found this one and was like, oh, okay, good. So the box is in good condition. She seems to be in nice condition. Doesn't seem to be any sort of like color smudges or anything like that on her. Because I know whenever I really look at the detail of a Funko Pop, sometimes you can see where some colors have bled over when they've painted them. And I mean, there's just a lot of things. Like some people, they'll have a big blue mark on their face because the color, the artist painting them or whoever was messed up or something like that, or the machine did, or whatever's coloring these things.
Right. She looks awesome, though. Her coloring is just so bright. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a neat little pop. I was saying this before we started filming, but the thing I really like about her is that it's just her. It's just Rainbow Bright and Twink. Whereas, like, Strawberry Shortcake, it's Strawberry Shortcake. The lemon one, the other one, there's like 5 or 6 of them,
Right.
So that's just one thing I really like. I'll show you the back of hers. It is just the little star and it says Rainbow Bright and that's it.
That's awesome.
All right. You got any other pickups?
I don't have any more pickups for today. But I can tell you I plan to do the entire Willy Wonka series.
Okay. Have you had any luck finding any of the other ones?
No. But it is my hope. So I don't know if I actually didn't show you the back of my Willy Wonka. Let me get it real quick. And I'll show you who is in the series. There we go. So we've got Willy Wonka, of course. Oompa Loompa, whose colors look awesome.
I know, that would be really cool to have, an Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, that one's going to be that's going to be awesome if I can find that one. There's, of course, Charlie Bucket and Grandpa Joe.
Cool.
Veruca Salt, who looks really cool. She's got the golden egg. I don't know if you remember that from the movie.
Yeah, from the goose. When she starts singing the song that she wants it.
Yeah, I Want It Now.
Yeah, I want it now. Yeah, I listened to the soundtrack at work the other day.
Yeah. So, and then there's, of course, Mike TV with the little Mike TV. And then Violet Beauregard when she blows up like a blueberry.
Yeah, that one looks really cool. I saw that one on Stashpedia. I like the size and the look of that one.
Yeah, I think that one's going to be that Violet and the Oompa Loompa and Veruca Salt are probably the top three that I would want. And then Augustus Gloop is the last one.
Augustus Gloop.
Yes. And
the other day, we were having questions at work. We were like, what was his last name? Gloop. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if you can tell, but on the box, he actually is eating, chocolate, and he has it, like, smeared all over his face.
Of course he does.
Yeah. But, yeah, so that's my goal, is to search those out, maybe at other comic book stores, because I like to find them in person. I'm not really an internet shopper.
Yeah.
It's the chase, the going to the stores, looking through all the pops, and being able to see them really up close. And so, yeah, that is my hope for the future.
Yeah. I mean, I'm right there with you. I kind of refuse to buy a Funko Pop online because it's too easy. I mean, you could just buy the chase for $20 or $30. I mean, if you have to have it and you've never seen it out in the wild, sure, last resort. But I'm right there with you where it's like I love the chase of it. I love going to Target and being like, ooh, do they have Fire Jack? Do they have Elastigirl? Do they have any chases? Sometimes you go early in the morning, sometimes you go late at night. You're like, who knows? Maybe they'll put them out. I haven't had any luck on chases, but it's the actual physically going out, going to all these stores, even Toys R Us's that are shutting down, and Barnes and Nobles and all these other places, Targets, Walmarts, and that's just kind of the driving force behind it for me. Like, would I ever order these online? Probably not.
Right, yeah, I agree. I don't know if you also went to Walgreens. They sell Funko Pops as well.
Yeah.
Not a very huge selection.
Not at all. Every time I go, it's like wrestling people, and that's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many Walgreens exclusives, and like Marvel there's a lot of Walgreens exclusives for Marvel, for Star Wars, and things like that. There's actually a Walgreens exclusive from Star Wars that I'm currently looking for, and this sort of ties into my third and last pickup that I have, so I'm going to show that off real quick.
Okay.
So before this video, about 15 minutes before this video, I was like, you know what, let me go stop at Target, let me go see if I can find Fire Jack or Elastigirl, or I've actually been hunting the chase figure for Troll Hunters. It's a show on Netflix by Guillermo del Toro. The main character, he normally is in a suit of armor holding a sword with a little gnome with him, but the chase character is the same thing, except holding the sword, he's holding an amulet. And every time I go to Target, I look for it, and I never can find it. But anyway, I didn't have any luck finding those, but then I stumbled upon this figure that I've, a few weeks ago, kept seeing a couple of. I saw about 4 or 5 of them. And then the last week or so, he started disappearing. I was like, I don't see him anymore. I don't see him anymore. So then I was like, oh man, did I just miss out on a figure that might be rare or might, accumulate in value at some point? And I looked it up on Stashpedia, and on Stashpedia he was selling for around $13, and at Target you can get them for $8.99. So let me just go ahead and introduce Han Solo, the Target exclusive, in his goggles, and he's in almost, it looks like a Wookiee fur coat or something. Of course, I don't think it would be a Wookiee. His best friend's a Wookiee. Now, I do have regulars that watch this channel that be like, why did you buy a Solo Pop? Don't you badmouth the movie Solo all the time? Yes, I do. But I in my defense, I bought this Pop because, for one, I saw that amongst all the Solo Pops that there have been, he, the Mud Trooper, and the Walgreens exclusive Han Solo are kind of the ones that have been maintaining a decent value. And it seems that the, Target exclusive ones are usually hard to find. The Fire Jack, the Elastigirl, the upside down 8-bit Will from Stranger Things. Of course he's a Chase. He's already hard to find. But for some reason, some Target exclusives, this is just a theory that I have, I'm not saying that this is real, seem to be the ones that get really hard to find. And when I saw them, and I started to see less and less of them, and then I finally saw this one, I was like, oh, let me grab it. So anyway, got it, took it up to the register, and to my surprise, it was not $9. It was $6.77 after tax. I don't know what sale was going on. I don't know if it was exclusively for Solo stuff because the movie's not doing good, which is another reason I bought this, was that it's kind of the infamous Star Wars movie right now. It's doing not so good for a Star Wars movie at the box office. This is probably going to go down as one of the infamous Star Wars movies in history because nobody really asked for it. It didn't really do very well. So that's another theory that pushed me to get this. And then it was under $7, so you can't go wrong there, even if it's for something that you don't really care about, which in my case is the Solo movie. So that's my third pickup, is the Han Solo Funko Pop.
Awesome. Great price. So did you ask if... so you didn't ask if any of the other Pops were on sale, or?
No, because I didn't take it up to a person. I took it up to a self-checkout because I kind of needed to get back to the house in a timely manner. And I got up there and it just said $6.77 after tax, and it didn't say any discount thing on it or anything like that. That's just what it rang up as. And to my surprise, I was like, oh, well, now I know I'm going to get it, and I don't feel bad about it. Walking up there, I was kind of like, I haven't even seen Solo. I kind of talked trash about it. And then when I priced it, I was like, you know what? Even if this thing is rare, so technically, it's double its value of what I've paid. Because in Stashpedia, it goes for about $13, $14. I paid $6.77 for it, so I really don't feel bad for buying it at all anymore.
Awesome. I've also had trouble finding Target exclusives in my town. I went also looking for the Fire Jack. He looks so cool.
I know, and it's funny, they're not even chases. They're just exclusive figures. And it's, so basically, I think the ones that seem to be hardest to get, I go to Walmart's and I see their exclusives, and I go to Hot Topics and things like that, and I kind of refuse to buy from Hot Topic. I said it last video, because Hot Topic, their prices are a lot higher than everywhere else's for just their commons, or whatever. Anyway, it seems to be that Walgreens and Targets, I have the most trouble finding their exclusives. Any of the Marvel or Star Wars exclusives at Walgreens, and then same thing for Target.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. I have, of course, Walgreens doesn't have the selection, so I really will go and I see 9 Pops,
Mm-hmm.
and they're supposed to have, on Stashpedia they say 77 Walgreens exclusives have been put out. So for them to have such a big, exclusives group, I don't see how they don't have a bigger section in the store.
Yeah, I agree. They could just have a little subsection off the toys that are specifically Funko Pops. Because you go there every day and they've got all these other toys. They've got Nintendo stuff. They've got Marvel stuff, like Marvel Legend toys, the little 6-inch toys that seem to be popular amongst people, and a couple of other things, and even Transformers and Star Wars toys. And they have a decent amount of those, and those are exclusives too. There's some World of Nintendo toys that I have that are specifically for Walgreens. They're exclusives. But the Pops, they're almost impossible to find in my case, and in what you said, yours as well, except for the wrestling ones, and I don't know who cares about those.
Yeah, well, not me. I did have a question. I don't know if you ever look under the exclusives section of Stashpedia to see what what Walgreens has or what Barnes and Nobles has as an exclusive to their store, but I always like doing that. And I wonder what will happen. You know, Toys R Us has 100 exclusives, and they're going out of business. Like, what do you think will happen? Do you think their prices are going to skyrocket? Do you think another store will buy out the exclusive?
Okay. So, I have a theory on this that I don't know if this is the same thing, but when I go to Toys R Us and I see their exclusives, they still have a lot of exclusives at the shutting down one. Like the triple pack of people from wrestling. They have a Ken from Street Fighter and a couple of other ones that are, you know, not selling so much, and maybe some Teen Titans Go that are, you know, Toys R Us exclusives that nobody's buying up. So part of me thinks that some of them are just going to be, you know, dime a dozen. You know, their value is just going to stay at like $2 or $3. Nobody cares. Now, what I am thinking is that other stores are just going to get those pops and take off the sticker. Because surprisingly, I was at a GameStop the other day, and I was looking around, and at the front they had a few Funko Pops that, you know, sooner or later they put them on a sort of clearance where they're like $8.99, and they slap a big sticker on there on the very front and a big circle that says $8.99 because that's like a value price. And one of them was the Ken from Toys R Us, but without the Toys R Us sticker. So I don't know what to think there. I don't know if you know, that Ken was sent to both of those places, because I mean, if it has a sticker on it, then it's for that store specifically. But this one didn't, so I didn't know if it was one of those things where they got one and they took the sticker off, or I don't know. It was the same toy. It was the same pop though, so I thought that was a little strange. But I mean, honestly, I think it's just. I mean, I thought the same thing. I thought, oh, should I pick this Ken from Street Fighter that says only at Toys R Us and hold on to that, because will it accumulate in price? Will it, you know, appreciate? And for some reason I was looking at it and I was just like, you know what? I really don't think so. I don't know why. But, you know, there are a lot of vaulted pops that are not selling for anything. Last episode we looked at General Clytus. The other half of the channel picked up for me, and his value is $9. Like, I mean, you know, there are just some pops that they don't make anymore that just they don't have that like following or something like that. So it just depends on the following, I think.
Right.
But let's see. Besides, all right, so we've named Target, Walgreens, you know, a couple other things. Where else do you hunt specifically? Do you kind of go everywhere? Or do you have a specific store that you like to go to? I know for me, it's Barnes & Noble. I think Barnes & Noble is like the max kind of what I pay for pops, which is $9.95, and I think $10.72 after tax. And then, you know, besides Barnes & Noble, the main other one is Target for me, and those are really the two.
Right. Well, my favorite place to hunt would probably be the comic book store, because they're not going to just have the new releases. They're going to have old pops like the Willy Wonka Mike TV that was, you know, released 2016. They're going to have new pops. They're going to have it's such a huge selection as well. That's probably my favorite place. Secondly would probably be Toys R Us, just because they are going out of business. They are on sale.
Yeah. $5 a pop ain't bad.
No. And so I go in there and I keep looking at all of these pops, like you said, the Street Fighter Ken. I've seen that one at our Toys R Us, and I keep trying to be picky, because I mean, there's probably 20 different pops I would get for $5, but then I would be like, oh man, why did I buy $20 or 20 different pops, you know, today? So I'm trying to be selective on my pops, since I don't want to spend all of my money. So that would be my second place. You know, the rest, I really don't ever have much luck when I go to GameStop or
me neither.
Hot Topics, anything at the mall, really, because I think they're always picked over, and I'm not the first one there. And then, oddly enough, Michael's craft store.
Michael's does have a bunch of pops, but they're never ones that I really care for. There's random ones like, well, actually, there are some that I care about, the Peanuts ones, and for some reason I never picked them up, but their design looks really good. They actually have, the cartoon colors, and they, the other day I saw a Linus, and I was so close to buying it, but I just didn't have the cash on me at the time. And, so interesting fact or little hint about Michael's. If you see the Funko Pop section, they're going to be on probably a aluminum sort of display. If you go all the way down and you look down at the bottom, there should be some black, almost Tupperwares that you can pull out that are usually lined with Funko Pops. Now, this probably isn't a hint to all you people that have been out there and, talk to the managers and ask people to check the back and stuff like that. I'm sure y'all wouldn't let that pass you up or pass over any of that. But for us newbies, it was an interesting little thing that we were just like, holy crap, they got him down here.
Yeah, actually, I did notice that as well when I was in the store, because of course I'm on my knees looking at the ones on the bottom shelf, and lo and behold, there's this big Tupperware under it. So I also was drawn to the Peanuts Funko Pops. They are, I mean, I like the Linus. Let's see, they also had the one
Lucy.
No, it was Patty, I think, or
Patty. I've seen Lucy.
Okay,
I've seen Lucy. I've seen Patty, also the blonde girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen her. I've never seen Charlie. Charlie Brown. For some reason, I was thinking something else. I have not seen Charlie. I have not seen Snoopy and Woodstock. Who else? I'm not sure if that's only it. If it's Sally, Lucy, Linus, Charlie, and Snoopy and Woodstock, but if there are any more like the kid that plays piano or Pigpen, I don't know that. I haven't seen them. They're probably not.
Right, yeah. So I've not seen Charlie Brown or Snoopy and Woodstock as well. I'm pretty sure I saw... No, it was Sally. It was Sally, because Sally's the blonde one. And
yeah, with the curls on the bottom of her hair.
Right. And then Lucy Van Pelt. I saw her, Sally, and Linus. And Linus was my favorite.
Okay. Well, so those are pretty common, I guess, at, Michael's and things like that and a couple others. But whenever you're out and you see all these commons, you see a bunch of them, like, say, the Stranger Things or the... just random things. Do you think do you have any in your mind that you think will, given time, they're common now, they're everywhere, but given time, do you think they will appreciate, just with anything that's going on in pop culture or anything like that?
Well, the ones that are, like the recents I've seen, you mean, the new releases?
Well, not even new releases, because those, usually have they come onto the marketplace, people are buying them up, and then they're selling them off for double the value and things like that. So those tend to decline in, value after a while, because, people snatch them up, and then that was it. That was the market for it. But as far as commons go, just like random ones that you'd see on out in Target or somewhere that are, on Stashpedia for like $6 or $7, do you think any of those at some point will jump up in value, like just skyrocket? Like if you're like, you know what, I'm going to make this investment in this one, because who's to say that in 3 years it's not going to be up to $72?
Well, I will say that Barnes & Nobles has a selection that I would think a lot of them are going to go up later. So the Dr. Seuss ones, the Sam I Am, they're iconic, and they're not going for much right now. But, like the Sam I Am flocked at Barnes & Nobles looks really, good in person. I think those will go up. I also think the movie Grease.
Oh, I passed those up the other day.
Yeah. So
so they had John Travolta's character in his Letterman jacket, and then they had him in his black leather jacket. And I had him in my hands, and I was looking at him, and I was like, "Ooh, should I pick these up? These things there's a huge following for Grease. People love that stuff." And I was looking at him on Stashpedia, and I was like, I don't know. And then I saw Rainbow Bright, and I was like, well, I'll just get the Rainbow Bright. But I remember seeing the Grease stuff and was like, I don't know if I should pass that up. But just based off of the price that it was right now, I just ended up not getting.
Right, yeah. So I think since they've made more than one Grease, that people are still interested. They do musicals of Grease. I mean, it's just a huge following. I think they will increase in value as well. And I think there's only 4 of the Grease, from the Grease movie. There's the 2 Dannys, as you said, and then there's the 2 Sandys. One of them with I don't know if you've seen the movie or not, but at the end, she's in like a black, like leather pantsuit with some red heels, and so like the bad Sandy, and then there's the good Sandy, where she's like holding a book, and
that's the one I saw was the good Sandy, but I saw both of the John Travolta character.
Right. Yeah, so that's what I mean, those are some that I can think of off the top of my head. I mean, is there any that you think are gonna?
Oh, well, for some reason, based off of I was talking about it last video, was the trend of like fantasy, like sword and shield, magic sort of pops. The Game of Thrones ones have been, like the older ones are like skyrocketing in price right now. Then there's the current ones that are, at a very basic price of like $10, $12, things like that. So the newer wave isn't so sought after, of course, because it's new. You can find them just about at any Barnes & Noble or anything like that. But I think that the Lord of the Rings ones are going to appreciate for some reason. And if they all don't, I know a couple of them will. There's just this feeling in the marketplace, like the King Aragorn. I think King Aragorn, for some reason, based off of the constant price that it stayed right now, sooner or later is going to skyrocket. If I had to think of any of the others that might skyrocket in the Lord of the Rings line, I might say the Gandalf in the Balrog fight. Maybe Samwise, because he does have the Light of Galadriel that glows in the dark. But those are really about it. And another reason that I say the Lord of the Rings ones will is because the Hobbit ones, just the basic Hobbit ones, like any of the characters, for some reason those are all super pricey. They're at like $90 for every single one. And it was like, wow, this was back in 2010, and nobody really talked about those movies. Those movies have come and gone. But so the Lord of the Rings ones, part of me keeps passing up these He-Man ones, the new He-Man ones, like He-Man in power armor where he has a battle axe, and then there's Skeletor in his little power armor, and they have an Orko and a Beast Man and a Merman and things like that. And there's a Chase Merman, I think that's blue, but for some reason, I keep looking at those, and I go, the first wave of He-Man, the Skeletor and the He-Man, those are expensive. There's a lot of He-Man fans out there. And so part of me is worried that once Wave 2 dies down, Wave 2 is going to sell a lot. Because those pops actually look really good, especially the Orko. His colors, his eyes are yellow, everything looks really good about those pops. So if I had to pick 2 lines, I'd probably say the new He-Man Wave 2 line and the Lord of the Rings line.
All right, cool.
All right, so we've kind of gone over a lot today. We're about 38 minutes in, so, this was a long episode that went a little longer, but hey, that's good. That means it's genuine. But I think that's all we have to show, right, Maggie?
Yeah, for today.
Okay. Well, I had a lot of fun today doing Pop Craze Episode 2 with Maggie here. Everyone say thank you to Maggie. Thank you, Maggie, for appearing on Pop Craze. And remember, guys, if you like this, to like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time. Evil E out. Say bye, Maggie.
Bye.